All right. 5, 4,
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to another episode of Guillotines and Guitars. Cut 23 in the house. We've gotten this far.
That's right. Gotten a long way, haven't we?
Hey, we got some shows. We got a show coming up, or not a show, but a on location. We're gonna be at Creepy Hollow. We're gonna be at. Woo, almost messed that one up. Creepy Hollow. We don't know what dates yet. We got free range of what dates we're gonna be there, but we will certainly make a live announcement when we figure it out. And this probably be on a Friday or Saturday sometimes. But we're gonna be out there on live location. Gonna get all access to the houses, all access to the boogeymans, and we're just gonna have a fantastic time. Hey Trey, you got one of them boogeymans in your closet, man?
What about the boogie women's?
The what?
The boogie women's.
Hey, the boogie women's will be there too.
Well, I mean, when can't
Women,
exclude
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They are part of the show.
The
Boogie
show's,
men and boogie women.
show's catching traction a little bit. We're getting aside. We got some new equipment. Mr. Trey Davis, we appreciate him making everything better. You know, look, we got cameras
We
everywhere.
are evolving.
Evolving.
Yeah,
I watched
we are.
Evolution last night. I seen that movie.
We are climbing up out of the hole.
We are out of the dungeon, so to speak. All right, we got a heck of a show for you tonight. Oh, by the way, we can make phone calls now and receive phone calls, so watch out. If I get too many booze in me, I might be calling your ass.
That son of a gun had some booze in it.
Tell him, John. All right, our topics. Topics for tonight. Guillotines. What is your favorite Scream movie? And how did it impact the horror industry and its fans?
What?
What?
Are we talking about horror movies or are we talking about
Horror
pornos?
movies.
Because he keeps saying horror
It's
movies.
How
H-O-R-R.
did it impact the horror movie?
Yes, impact the horror movies. It's horror.
Horror.
No, we're not talking about.
Listen, man, don't be hating on my slang, Bo. I can't change where I come
I
from.
know, but
I speak Walmart.
No offense to women of the night, but I mean we're talking about horror movies.
No offense to women of the. He's very political. Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Our guitars.
Of course we don't want to.
But I'm not. Nobody's listening to you, Scott. A guitar segment is going to be Lynyrd Skynyrd. Were they the best Southern rock band in their time? And we're going to talk a little bit about their tragic history.
Yep, there's a lot of tragedy in there.
Yeah,
History.
There's a lot of bumpy, hard times in there. You know, like turbulence and stuff. Is that too soon? No, it's been like 20 years. 30.
20 years.
It
Yeah.
happened
A little bit
70,
longer.
yeah, 77. Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than that.
That's right. Let's don't make him do math. Let's just
Go
with it.
The wheels will fall off if you start
45.
doing damn math. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. I'm excited about it.
So we done? Okay.
Man,
been a good
calm
show.
down. You
been a
ain't
good show.
cutting corn yet, fool. So Trey ain't never spun the corn. We're gonna let Trey.
Trace, I'm actually. We talked about it earlier. I'm gonna spin it.
I didn't approve
That's the
this.
first I've heard of it. I thought I was going to spin it.
Yeah, I
but go ahead.
didn't approve this.
Well, I thought no. I mean, you can.
I'm just kidding.
I thought we talked
Go
about this
ahead.
See how
earlier.
nervous
I have to hit buttons.
Oh, hey, ho. Nice hat, Trey.
Hey, I finally
Hey.
part of the club now.
And I didn't wear my damn hat tonight. He gets a new one.
It only took me 13 episodes. The 13th episode,
Hey,
I finally get my own
You
hat.
earned it, brother.
You
You
earned
bought
it.
these new cameras in. Hey, you get a hat.
Yeah, he did. And,
I
and
just
these
think if
hats,
you get a banner.
and these hats, thanks to Corey, Carolina Printing and Trophy.
Oh, yes,
we
sir.
appreciate you.
He do a lot of business with him. Oh,
He's
Corey.
he's working on some shirts now.
He's a good dude. Hell, I might call him. All right.
He's got you blocked. He won't let
He
you
probably,
call.
yeah, he's probably right. All right, flip it, spin it. What are you doing?
I'm a
Flip
spin
it, smack it.
Damn, you
rub
got
it
nervous.
down,
I'm
homo.
Put a
you
good
ready?
spin on it
Hot
now.
candy, baby. Guitars. I figured it was going to be there.
guitar.
This is going to be a subject right here. We got some Lynyrd Skynyrd fans in the house. One.
Go ahead. We just have one.
No, everybody's a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan. It's just to what degree
Jesus Christ.
are you?
I should have done my homework when I was driving. Oh, we got some libations.
You always wait until now to decide. Maybe I should read up on this a little bit and find out.
That's how I used to do my homework, homie. Yeah. Right before the test. So I made all them great grades. It was fresh in my memory.
So, Trey, is this a screwball we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new thing to me. Screwball peanut butter whiskey is what they call it, but to me, it's a little more butterscotch.
We went from drinking liquor to eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
This was actually South African friend of mine turned me on to this.
All right. What's his name?
Danny.
Danny. Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, from South Africa.
Is he still working with you?
Yeah.
Does he listen to the show?
Nobody listens to the show.
Don't think he does. Yeah.
He don't? Why don't he, Scott? I mean, he's your work partner. You ain't advertising us?
I need to get him to listen.
Does Gil listen to us?
No, I doubt Gil
anybody on the farm.
Yeah, anybody on the farm. Cotton Eye Joe. Anybody. Where did he come from? Where did he go? That's a good mystery. Where did he come from? And where did he go?
And that song's been out for 30 years now or whatever, so have they found it?
They have not found it.
I don't think nobody
We're
found it.
going to talk about this next episode.
There hasn't been a part 2 to that song.
That's right.
We found Cotton Eye Joe.
So nobody listens to us on the farm. Good job, Scott.
We are not famous on the farm.
No, we're not.
But thank you, Danny. Is it Danny?
Danny.
Yeah,
Danny.
Cheers.
Danny. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers,
Screwball.
That is nasty.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't?
I don't like it.
It's got. I
just had a 4-course meal in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Thanksgiving turkey and all.
That's kind of hit there at the back end, you know.
We did a half a shot earlier just to taste. I did a half shot to taste it. It didn't do the same thing as doing. I took a little bit more.
Shot, yeah. It's more of a sipping whiskey, I think. But
I think so. Small sip.
Next time,
this bottle was picked up on Saturday, and somebody did more than just sipping it.
that was me and Danny. He come over to my house Saturday.
Oh, Danny, he did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he wanted to keep drinking it, so I was like, I mean,
it looked like you did.
I don't want to be a bad host. I'm like, well, pour another one in. We'll do it.
Now, did just you and Danny drink that bottle, or was Chuck involved in that?
No, it's me and Danny.
Okay.
He was probably out back in the shack.
Me
he
and
wasn't
Danny
allowed to
actually,
come in.
Carlene, she's from South Africa too. She came over. She's a pretty cool chick. She helped us drink it also.
Does she work with you guys, or is that Danny's wife? Or
no, it's Danny's best friend.
Okay, and she works also. with you guys?
She works on. They actually work the peanut.
Does Danny go to Max a lot?
Danny goes out quite a bit. He's come to see us play a lot.
Oh, okay.
I say a lot. I mean, I think 2 times he's been out to see us.
South African people that goes to Max a little bit, and I've seen him a couple of times. I've heard him talk at the bar. I was just curious if that was him.
It might be, or it might be some.
Is he
other
a strapping young lad?
Well,
at one time he might have been.
Yeah, he's. I think Danny's. He might be around your age, I think, or maybe a little bit younger.
So
32, 33.
He's came out and watched y'all.
And you were a lot older now. I'm sorry.
He's came out and watched y'all. Did you introduce him to the rest of the band and stuff?
I did.
Oh, okay. Well,
We got a picture. We got a picture.
We got a picture. Yeah, he got my bass on, and the whole band at Jay Michael's. We played.
Well, that's
that's him.
Yeah, that's
the guy. Okay.
At least he gets introduced.
Danny's
Scott
the one who
don't
brought me
introduce us on the farm.
He brought me the Baines, which is from South Africa, and the Ruffles Stimp or whatever the hell it's called.
Baines whiskey.
Yeah,
That shit just looks
He brought me those. Those
You
are
know
actually
what?
South African whiskeys.
Are we allowed to drink that? Or that's just for looks right now.
No, you could.
Our next shot. Let's try the Baines.
That's community property.
Let's try the Baines next shot.
Everything on the bar is community property.
If it makes it to the bar, it's community.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a song, Community Property.
I know. Like Steel Panther.
Yeah. right, we're getting already off track. All right,
Imagine
Lynyrd
that.
Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd. All right, so
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, were they the best Southern rock band at their times? Oh, and their tragedy history,
Their
tragic history.
tragic history.
That's what I
or their
said.
Story. Yeah.
Don't cut me off again.
I think.
Strike one.
I think.
Strike one. Give him 2 strikes. So
I think Lynyrd Skynyrd probably, to me, because I'm not a big Southern rock fan. I mean, as far as listening to a bunch of Southern rock music, but the one that stands out to me is Lynyrd Skynyrd. So, to me, they would be the best Southern rock band. You know, and I know you got like newer bands like
Marshall Tucker.
well, no, not newer, but yeah, I mean you got Marshall Tucker and all.
Yeah.
And you know they have a couple songs I like. You know, but I think to me Lynyrd Skynyrd would be the ultimate Southern rock band. Whenever I hear Southern rock, that's
who you think
immediately
of.
who I think about.
Yeah.
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I mean, they're definitely a
I'll go
damn
with that.
staple. You know,
Yeah, I'd agree with that also.
all my childhood, you know, whether I was staying at my uncle's, Lynyrd Skynyrd was blasting the whole damn time. Because, I mean, back in the, 85 and 86, they were still, rolling,
They still rolling now, even though they don't have that many original members. But one thing about this topic tonight, which is it's kind of like last show, where we had a topic and then it happened to coincide with something that the topic we were dealing with. It's almost the same thing with this. I didn't know until I started doing some research, but we are exactly 50 years. It's like the 50-year anniversary of Lynyrd Skynyrd's
Plane
debut
Crash?
album.
First release.
okay.
Well, one day after. It come out August 13th, 1973. So we're 50 years and one day.
From this show right now?
From this show right now.
That is pretty damn cool,
Yeah.
man.
And it is. That's a cool little
I knew
fun,
you would
fun
have
little
something
fact.
to bring to the table tonight.
And I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that. I knew the year, but I didn't know the date.
It was August 13th, 1973 was their debut album, Lynyrd Skynyrd, which had it was a great debut album because
Okay, so I don't want to jump on.
No, go ahead.
I don't want to jump on you, but you talked about debut album, and so the first thing that I think is that we last week or week before we talked about our favorite debut rock albums or whatever, and Guns N' Roses was there with Appetite for Destruction. The pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd was that was the album that came out. I mean, it shot him to Freebird was on that album. The first album. Imagine your first album has songs like Simple Man, Give Me Three Steps, Tuesday's Gone, Freebird.
It had all their most almost biggest hits, except the one that was on their second album. But I mean, you had Give Me 3 Steps, you had Tuesday's Gone, which was a huge song.
Yep.
Metallica even covered it. On one of their albums.
Yeah, we covered it back in the day.
But
Not as many people know about it, but we did.
Well, Metallica did too. And Tuesday's Gone's been covered by a lot of people. I mean, you can go type Tuesday's Gone and see a lot of people doing.
Train roll on. You want me to take it?
Yeah,
It's a great song. I mean, but you had all these. I went back and looked, when we were doing the debut albums, I was like, when I was doing some research on Lynyrd Skynyrd, I looked back and I was like, their debut album was bad as hell. I mean, it had a lot of great songs on it,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think it's
That was Ronnie Van Zant whipping them into shape.
Yeah.
It was, but
He apparently did a lot of whipping in the shape. or wasn't had no problems doing it if you need to.
Yeah, that's
Tell us about it, Chris.
well, Little Wayne brought it up tonight. He commented on our post. He said 38 Special. I had no idea that a Zant was part of 38 Special.
Van Zant, Donnie.
Van Zant,
Yeah,
Donnie.
Donnie Zant, Van Zant was it blew my mind. I'm not very educated on. I know all the songs of 38 Special. I don't know all the the personnel, but
Well, so Donnie was like to me, he reminded me of Flavor Flav. Like he was the hype man.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, he ran around. He sang, but he ran around and was like he was the exciting guy that was running around with the microphone, while the other guy, and I can't remember his name, but was the main lead singer.
Well, that was crazy to me. I had my stuff pulled up here. Now it's gone.
That's what you just looked this up, didn't you? He's looking it up right now.
I did. No, I looked it up before. I'll get back to you on that, Rusty.
Hey, hold on. What I meant was. No.
Whatever.
It's not coming.
Pulled up Suge Knight. What the fuck?
Language, Chris.
God damn it.
Well.
I had my shit right. Now it's pulling up the 38 special gun.
That's all right. We can come back to you.
Thank you. Please
Yeah.
come back because I'll be ready in a minute.
We'll catch you in a rerun.
But there were some interesting things with Lynyrd Skynyrd that when I was whenever I was like when I was putting out like the topic, maybe we should do something about Lynyrd Skynyrd, you know, in the group text earlier. You know, I was like, because for some reason I've been on this Skynyrd kick like all weekend. I don't know what I was listening to their music, listening to a lot of their music, reading up a lot about it, you know. But I didn't know that, you know, their drummer, Artemis Powell, his dad, you know, won a Purple Heart. Or not won, but I mean, he received
Awarded.
a Purple Heart. Yeah, he was awarded a Purple Heart, you know, for World War II. But he actually died in a plane crash in 1971. I didn't know that. He was actually
I know that.
he was in his own Cessna plane. I think it was a Cessna.
He was flying himself.
What? Yeah, he was a pilot. You know, he was a pilot in World War II also. But he built homes. But Artemis Powell, and I think his dad's name was Dale. I think so. Dale Powell. And he said that his dad loved to. He built houses, but he loved to survey the land by flying over to look at the property from the air, you know. And he was flying over some property he was going to build houses on, and a B-57 bomber was in the same airspace and hit him, and his plane exploded and crashed. He died instantly.
Wow.
Good night.
I mean, I didn't know that. I was like,
I didn't know that either. I never heard
that's
that.
crazy. I'm like, and to think that was in 1971, 1970, was it 77 when they had the plane crash?
77.
Yeah.
That I mean, so he was in a plane crash himself. He survived, but I mean, still think that his dad died in a plane crash.
That is
he
crazy.
He survived it, but still, and I was like, how? I still don't. Which I mean, I know technology is a lot better now than it was in '71, but still, you got a B-57 bomber in the same area as you're flying in it, and how do you? But that's what happened was that the B-57 bomber hit him. I guess was flying too fast or whatever, and didn't see him and hit his plane, and he died. I mean. It's crazy. I mean, the
That's
stuff.
interesting. That is interesting.
Well, I mean, it's real interesting.
I'm curious to look that up because I never heard that.
Well,
and I didn't either. And like I said, until Sunday night after when I sent a text out, you know, about maybe we should do something about Lynyrd Skynyrd. I was doing like a deep dive. I was reading all kind of stuff just because I'd been listening to the music.
You got down in that rabbit hole.
He did. Yeah,
Right.
and I don't know what it was that drew me to, you know. I mean, I like Lynyrd Skynyrd, but I don't usually sit there and listen to their music during a weekend, like just playing all their songs. But for whatever reason, this past weekend, I was at home and I was on the computer. I was playing Lynyrd Skynyrd, just listening to songs, listening to different songs, you know. And it intrigued me. I was like, I want to find out more about him, you know, and because I know you're a big Lynyrd Skynyrd fan, and so I was like,
A little bit.
I got to try and do a little more research and
And you have absolutely added something that I'd never even, not that I didn't know, I'd never even heard of. And that's a big story.
But
too.
I mean, it actually shocked me. I was like, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
Another little side fun fact for you. You know about the whole airplane deal, right? Who wanted to buy the plane before Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Was it Led Zeppelin or Aerosmith?
Aerosmith. So, see, I thought I was bringing something to the friggin' table.
You did.
Shit.
Do you know where they left from?
Greenville.
Yeah. South
Carolina. Headed down to Florida or to Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah.
Excuse me. Down in the bayous. Man, they ran out of gas.
I know, and they had to have an emergency landing. But what's crazy is that you could have everybody on the same plane. 3 or 4 people died instantly or whatever, and then other people didn't. You had people who got seriously injured who survived, but you had people who didn't hardly get injured at all. It's like you're on the same flight.
Well, it depends on where you were. Well, he said they was playing cards and gambling, and this is from the drummer. He said he came to and saw the cards and looked to his right and saw what's her name,
Cassie.
Cassie
bleeding
Gaines.
out, and she was still she was barely hanging on, but just bleeding out, and saw the carnage and looked down, and his fucking rib is hanging out. That is not what happened.
That's not what happened.
That is not what happened, Trey says, but that's what I read. You want to read it right here?
Well, who wrote that? Did he write it? Because he told a lot of stories. He actually, from what I heard, he gave like one interview where he said that. No, that was that. I'm talking. That was the part where he said that the homeowner shot him.
Is that true?
No.
Who gave that interview? Who gave that interview?
Go ahead. I want to hear the truth.
Who?
Well, I wasn't there. I don't know the truth, but I know where the Kurt Loder.
I'm just fucking with you.
Who was the band member who retold that
He's
story?
wondering who y'all talking
drummer.
about.
Well, yeah,
Artemis Pyle.
Artemis was the one that told.
Okay, so
Artemis,
maybe my story isn't true then.
Artemis' story.
Maybe he was making that up too.
Let's clear everything up right now.
Well, we can't clear it. We weren't there, but I know like all the different stories that have been out there. All of them are kind of the same except for one. The one that's different is the most dramatic. Was Artemis' story. So
he kind of beefed it up a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Well, that's what he said. He
but Billy Powell did too, though. So
but
Billy Powell went back and corrected
did they write a book shortly after that?
I think all of them have books.
He said
because usually if one story is different than everybody else's, then it's dramatically different, and usually there's a book deal.
So
I
did a show with Marshall Tucker Band, and Gene Odom, who was Ronnie Van Zant's best friend, had a book, and he was there, and I got to talk to him, and he signed my book. I bought the book from him and everything, and his story, it basically just oh man, I wish I could remember the joke that he said about Artemis, about being in the water. I'm going to have to look it up. He said something about basically you can't believe anything that Artemis says.
So he's Uncle BS.
Okay, so then my story might not be true either.
Well, tell us all and the listeners what your story is.
Well, yeah,
and I'll tell you what
it's right here.
Think I know.
Yeah, okay, that's why. He said that he came to, got out the plane. He knew everybody was in trouble, including himself, and he said he excruciating pain or whatever. He said he climbed a 10-foot fence. Fell over the fence, was running to get help, came across this farm type deal. As he was limping up, the guy came out, halt, threw the gun up, and he was like, well, wait a minute, plane crash or whatever. And the guy shot him.
Nope.
And it don't say where he shot him at. He said he shot me, I dropped to my knees, and continued to explain why I'm on his property, and the farmer or whatever was like, oh, let me get you some help.
I do remember a story about Artemis Pyle getting shot, but it wasn't that night, and I don't know if that's true or not. Tracy, anything about
it? It wasn't that night though, or the next. It
wasn't that night, but I remember hearing a story about him getting shot.
So
but it wasn't the night
after
of
that, he got help, and rest is history. But that's according to this story that he apparently told.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm just reading.
No, I know,
Trey
but
does not believe
there's.
that.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Here's what I believe. I believe what the guy that owned or lived on the farm said. They were in the field, so they didn't hear the plane going down because it was out of gas. It was just, but they heard what they thought was a car wreck. Well, they're still out in the field working for a couple hours or whatever after they heard this thing. Well, there's a helicopter flying around their property, and they're watching the helicopter. And then around the same time, here comes this long-haired guy out of the woods, he got some blood on him, not too much. The guy said he didn't have too much blood on him, but he was pretty beat up and scared to death and say, oh, hey, I need help. The guy had the gun with him because they don't know if they're looking for a fugitive or something with a helicopter flying around. And so he had the gun. He shot the gun up in the air. And Artemis is probably almost also like, don't shoot, whatever. I need help. Plane crash, whatever. The guy said that he didn't have any broken ribs sticking out of his body. There was another report that said that I think it was Gene Odom actually that said that when the plane crashed, Artemis was still in the plane, and there was like a split in the fuselage, and he went to get out. This might not be Gene Odom's story; it was somebody else. But he went to get out, and through the little opening where it was split, and purposely rubbed himself up against the aluminum to cut himself because he didn't have any cuts on him.
Good night.
So he to make himself look a little bit more like he was in a plane crash. He purposely did it. So
I'd rather be the one with no cuts.
Yeah. So he did run to go get help, and he ended up on the farm, whatever. And he told the guys, he was like, I need bulldozers and tractors and chainsaws and all this stuff, whatever, to help my friends. So he did actually run for help. But Billy Powell talked shit about him and told him that he didn't run for help, that he ran because he was scared. Or no, I think it was Gary Rosson that said that. He ran because he was scared, but he was looking for help.
I mean, not to say anything to Gary Robinson, but I mean, I think if I was in a plane crash, I think I'd be scared too.
Oh yeah,
you get up and you laying on the ground.
Well, that's what they said. Everybody was like, I mean, if you're not scared, Artemis actually said, "Yeah, I was scared." So when he was asked about it later, Jake Tapper did a big 45-minute back in the day. Remember him?
Yeah,
he's still doing it now.
He's still
CNN or something. But yeah, he did a whole complete documentary where he went around and interviewed a bunch of them, including Judy, who was Ronnie's wife.
But yeah, what's interesting, just human, the human psychology aspect of this is you have so many different tellings of what happened that night. It's the same thing. Like you can have a group of people in a room, and they do these tests and studies all the time where it starts. You could have people lined up in a chair, and somebody will whisper something in somebody's ear. Yeah. The first one, they're supposed to turn around, whisper it, and then the next person's ear.
We did that in high school.
And you do, and when it gets to that last person, it's always never the same thing. It's always different.
Well, but this isn't. He said this.
Well,
he said this. This isn't going down. This isn't going down.
He said, she said, because you have like Artemis Powell's recollection of what happened is different than Gary Rosin's.
Yes.
I mean, you have you're sitting there. You're like, you have these different people who were in the same accident, and their recollection is different than what actually happened. Well, I say what actually happened. I mean, we don't know what actually happened because we wasn't there. But
I think
they were there. But I mean, their tellings of what happened is different.
I think the difference is though, if you're in an accident with somebody, and you've got what's this? And you've got a little bit your story varies slightly. Is okay because you went through a traumatic experience. So your story being slightly different is one thing, but to say all these major things happen and nobody else says the same thing, then that's a little different than lost in translation,
Might be, but I mean, I'm saying it's that type of stuff, it happens all the time. So I mean,
Why would you make up stuff like that, though? Your friends are dying around you. It's a traumatic experience. I don't understand why you would tell anything different,
No, don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, Carol didn't tell anything different when you grabbed his ass from the back seat and he threw it in the second and dropped out.
Yeah, no. I was about to bail.
he told the truth of what happened.
I mean, it just don't make no sense why he would do that. His story might be true. How would it not be true? I mean, who would know it wouldn't be true?
Well, and that's the
Everyone
thing.
else.
Everybody that survived, and the
said it
farmer
wasn't true.
the farmer that he ran up to.
I don't know. It's just there's too many questions. I got questions.
Well, I know, and I mean, the more I've read about the actual,
It's bad to say, but I enjoy the rib hanging out and jumping over the fence, and I mean,
Because it makes a good story.
yeah, it makes
does-
it more
I would have said
story
3 ribs hung out,
Well,
and I crawled
then
through
most
the
people would
fence.
know you were exaggerating. So
and the rib got
two
caught in the
ribs.
chain link fence, and it jerked out.
And you kept on going.
Yeah, and I shot the farmer actually.
Threw a rib at him.
Yeah,
like a boomerang.
yeah, that's a good. Threw a rib at him. Yeah.
Sling it at him. It comes back to you. You take it and put it back in.
Oh, it's a boomer rib.
A boomerang.
So, do we got any knowledge on? So, apparently, both the pilots died,
Yeah.
but they say they was out of fuel. That they made a mistake on the fuel calculations.
Yeah, so
from what I understand.
If they run out of fuel, that would be the airport's fault, or
Well, they do.
I don't know who. Did we ever get any clarification on whose fault it was?
No, I don't remember. I thought it was like.
Trey's still going around asking questions.
Why
We'll
did they
figure that
have
out.
enough fuel? I mean, if they run out of fuel,
I thought it was a mechanical error that said that it was full, but it wasn't, or that they thought
it
they had.
might be.
That's
Yeah.
it.
My truck does that sometimes.
But-
I can understand.
but I mean, you would
It's
think,
on E. I can make it. I know my truck.
you would think the pilots, when they're getting ready to take off, they just said, "We don't have a full tank of fuel, Oh, we need to stop.
You would
Concert's
think
gonna
so.
be late."
I would think even if my fuel hand is reading something, if I'm at the airport, I'd be like, "How about let's top the plane off? Go ahead and."
I'm talking about every damn time. I want it to be flowing out.
I don't want to calculate how many people's on the plane, how much fuel I need to get to where I'm going. I'm like, let's fill it up, fill it all the way up. So
Yeah.
And I
we
would
stop,
think that's what they would do.
Fill it up. I would think so too.
Especially, I mean, you got a multi-million.
They're like
dollar
Captain
band.
Barfield. We got half a tank of gas. The fuck we do? We
Yeah,
need a
no,
full tank
no,
of gas.
yeah.
You need my
Fill it
credit
up.
card?
You're only going 22 miles. I don't give a damn.
Fill it up. Fill it up. They're going further than 22 miles. They're
I
going to
know.
Louisiana. So
Damn
this
it,
was South
Scott.
Carolina.
This was also 1977, so maybe things were just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about like the actual
But hey-
mechanics of it too. I don't know.
Kudos to the pilot. They did they didn't save everybody, but they did a pretty good job. They to the end. Until death do them part.
I don't know. I've heard things that say
I heard
that
they
this
was drunk.
No, I don't think they were drunk. I'd heard things that said that they just weren't really. They shouldn't have been flying.
Just like
well, and that might be. We talked about on
That
a
could probably
previous
be
show where a lot of these pilots do. They're daredevils. They.
I don't think these guys were being daredevils.
Well, they might not, but just like we talked about the plane that had Tommy Lee and Scott Ian.
and he wanted to jump up and down or go weightless or
he
whatever.
wanted to go weightless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
We've had that on the show talking about that scene
Yeah,
where
yep.
like Tommy Lee went to the cockpit, banged on the door, and asked the pilot something about, "Can you do the weightless thing for us?" It's like them they like go up almost like a straight up, and then when they get to the top of the arch, you feel weightless in the plane, because it's when you're starting to descend back down. And he said they did that. So I mean, you have pilots who like doing stuff like that. I mean, if you're flying, obviously you like, you like the daredevil type of stuff. So I mean, and like in that situation, they were doing. And, I'm not saying that's what happened in this situation, but I'm just saying that you have.
They were
you
like,
have pilots,
you guys want to go weightless?
You have pilots who like to do that stuff. I mean, it's like yeah, let's do it. It's a high.
I would have thought the autopsy report would have showed if they were intoxicated or smoking a little reefer or
Yeah, well, I'm sure they did.
Well, but you don't really hear about that. So maybe they weren't
They was
intoxicated or anything. I don't know.
cover.
I don't know that they were. I just remember just kind of feeling like.
I mean, they were with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and they was partiers, man.
And
Lynyrd
this
Skynyrd was
happened in
they was banging
77.
8 balls and drinking Boone Farm. So, wait a minute, is Boone Farm back in the day?
I don't know. I don't think probably not.
I think it is. It sounds good anyway. Don't it?
All the pictures and videos I see, it's always like beer cans and Jack Daniels or something like that. I don't remember Boone's Farm.
The devil's lettuce was.
Hey guys, you got any wine coolers we can grab?
And one of them Zimas.
I just need something different.
Something. Carol, you've been researching over there for a while.
I'm not researching. Scott's son sent me a message. I actually tried to call me, and I sent him a message.
Hey, I thought, this is showtime.
Correct.
You need to tell him. He was a part of last week's show. It's over with. Drop it. Get on with your life.
Moving along.
But
right.
there's so many questions about it. It's so mystical about the Lynyrd Skynyrd. The whole damn thing.
That's the thing. It is mystical.
So
it's
damn thing.
It's dramatic. There's so much drama around it. There's so much drama around the people individually, who can and can't do what. And
where exact location where they crashed at?
Mississippi.
A field.
We need to take a trip to Mississippi.
No.
The farmer.
Yes, we
might
did.
shoot
No,
you.
I don't-
The next story.
On
might
Trey.
be Chris got shot by the farmer.
On Trey.
But I mean, because if you think about the story, we're getting tied up into tragedy and not talking so
We're
much
not
about
talking
the
about
music.
the music.
Yeah.
Here,
But-
Mississippi.
But the point to that you're saying though is that you can't talk about
You can't
Lynyrd
talk
Skynyrd
about
without
Lynyrd Skynyrd
talking
without-
about
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes
happened.
them so mystical. But what I did want to ask this question: do you think that Lynyrd Skynyrd would be considered the best Southern rock band had that not happened?
I do. I mean,
They were,
I do too.
That brought out
I agree with that.
their
still think-
music
Okay.
was
because
great.
but at the time, so the first album comes out, they were immediately superstars, right?
Right.
And so the plane crash, the accident, kind of set them into a what's the word I'm looking for?
Paradox.
Not a paradox. That's not the word.
Pandora's box.
Yes, Pandora's box. No, oh my God, there's the words that I'm looking for and I can't find them. But it sent them into this mystical, otherworldly
Phantom.
Yeah, it was a
fantasy thing. Like it
yeah.
almost doesn't seem real.
of what happened.
Galactical.
They
No,
were
just
at
stop,
the
Chris.
Supernova.
Just stop.
They were
Chris.
at the pinnacle of their success, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
their 3 of their members were
yeah.
dead, and they disbanded.
And it's almost unfortunate that they're known just as much for the music as the accident. And that's just a weird.
And that's why Consume can't get in the flame with Shane Polson. That time it'll just be bad damn luck, you know. The county would have lost a great band.
the county.
I didn't understand
Anyway,
anything you
I
just
didn't
said.
either. I didn't either. That's all right. Carol, you were going to say something. I kind of jumped
Hold
on
on,
you
I
there.
ain't
No,
done.
I was
No,
just talking
you're
about
done.
how
You're done.
Their music was great, but you think about them and you get stuck on talking about the tragedy and stuff. Because they got their name from what Lynyrd Skynyrd.
It was a PE
Lynyrd.
teacher.
Jim
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, Lynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd,
Yeah.
I think was.
And
He
they
must
got
been
he wanted them to cut their hair and stuff.
Yeah,
and they
he-
didn't ever go back to
He
school
was
or
a
something.
PE teacher.
He must have been a
gym
real
teacher.
asshole to them.
He embraced it later, though. After
bet he
they
did.
became famous, they're like, I am Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, I'm that dickhead. They
Oh,
talking
he was
about.
signing autographs and everything.
Oh, I guarantee it. But I got the name from him, and then I don't think they went back to school because they told them they had to cut their hair or something.
Well, the Rosendale quit school because of
that.
him.
Yeah.
Who's Rosendale?
Rosington.
Rosington. I'm sorry.
Who was that?
He guitarist.
He's a guitarist. Okay.
Hey, I think wasn't he the last surviving member
The last surviving original member. Yeah.
Original who just died.
Yeah.
When was that? A couple.
2 months ago.
Yeah, wasn't long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he quit school because of that PE teacher. Because the PE teacher wanted his classroom. He wanted
Order.
Integrity.
order. No long hair. He wanted everything to be nice and neat. And so he quit school because of him. From what I read now, and and then they named a band after this guy.
After him.
Of
So
course,
they
changed the name
formed a
and
band
all.
in high school? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think
They started like 71 or something.
Yeah, and they went through a couple different names before they decided to.
Do you know any other names?
I read them. I can't remember. God, what was one of them was a
Lizard Thicket?
Lizard
No,
Thicket.
it wasn't. But God, I can't remember what their names were. I read like 2 or 3 different names that they.
I can't either. But they had different member. Like Alan Collins was in a different band before Lynyrd Skynyrd. He wasn't original at the time. Like, he was in a different band. But no, I can't remember what the other one was called.
So in Ronnie Van Zant,
Either one of them.
like somebody stole his tombstone one time.
They tried to break into it. Yeah.
And also, somebody tried to dig it up because they wanted to prove the rumor or whatever. Was it a
About
Neil Young?
Neil Young.
Yeah.
Neil, well, he
Because
had the
you had
T-shirt.
Sweet Home Alabama. The lyric in there about
Neil
Neil
Young.
Yeah.
We remember.
Yeah, well, because Neil Young wrote a song "Southern Man," which was talking about the South, and Ronnie Van Zant. Which they were actually. They
were cordial with each other.
Yeah, they were. I'd say friends, but I don't know if they were actually friends. But yeah, I've heard that Ronnie Van Zant was buried with a Neil Young shirt on. I don't know.
But that could totally just be another one of those rumors that they put
can
out.
be.
Well, and it says from what
that's
I
something
read.
that just kind of took off. It was like.
It takes one person to say it and other people to believe it.
Yeah.
And one person says it, 2 people believe it. They tell 2 people, and all of a sudden
that
everybody's
might
like,
be
yeah.
What Carol was talking about, that
Right. Somebody tried to dig his
somebody tried
grave
to
up.
dig his
Or
grave
either
up
did to prove a rumor.
to see if
Yeah,
it
they
was-
moved.
But
Yeah, he was moved later.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you got caught, what would the punishment or the
That would be,
crime?
I guess it'd be grave robbery.
Yeah,
Even-
because
even if
you were
wasn't-
Nah, they'd be
digging
like,
up- you
"Ooh,
digging
that
up the man's
smell."
grave. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, just
What
to
the
see
hell's
a
that
T-shirt.
smell? Close it back up.
I mean, you're gonna crack that man's casket open because you want to see what the T-shirt looks like, and you're not gonna be able to close it back like it was before you open it. Not
Well,
like
no,
that.
because they had to bust the marble open.
I'm guessing if your thinking is, I'm going to dig up his grave to see if he's got that shirt on.
Yeah, you.
I'm
don't
guessing
care.
you're not thinking too far in advance about how am I going to put everything back like it was. I mean,
I'm just gonna cover it up.
you got some issues. I think
You do, and I would like to actually research that further and figure out if they knew who dug his grave up or tried to.
I'm
and if he
very
got
interested
caught.
in that.
And if,
I
and
know.
if he
I
got
would
punished.
like to know that
I
too.
don't think they found out who did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think what I remember, excuse me, was that that they just saw that it had been tampered with, that somebody had tried to get into it, but that
Scott, that wasn't you and Ryan, was it?
No.
Oh,
yeah, but it's what I remember reading was something that they had tried to get into it and couldn't, or like almost got into it, but then probably got spooked by something or somebody driving by or whatever and left. But
you know when
They should have got Geraldo.
when I was
in
in
the tombs and all.
when I was in Paris, we went to the grave.
Jim Morrison?
Yeah, we went to the grave site or the graveyard where Jim Morrison's grave is, and I think he's on his 3rd tombstone. And it's
Wow.
it's not that big, but you
Because
walk
people still
right because they vandalize it. But you walk through
they
this.
vandalize it or they
They
steal it.
vandalize it, steal it. It's been stolen, vandalized. But you walk through this graveyard, and you can see people's tombs and different family. Like you can tell who really had money, And then you walk around, and you got Jim Morrison's grave, and his is the only grave that they got like a fence around that you can't get to and touch.
Oh, wow.
And there was a guy that was standing in front of us. His girlfriend was rubbing his back. He looked like he might have been from India or somewhere, he's sitting there all teared up, crying, leaned over, looking at the gravesite. But because Paris has a lot of stuff, and Jim Morris's grave is the third most visited attraction in Paris. You have to pay $5 to get in this graveyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably they have to pay security or something.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you got to pay $5 to see his gravestone. So who's getting the money? Is it just going to upkeep
I guess
for
the church, because there's a church in the graveyard, but like there's people that stand there.
You actually have to pay. You can't go into the graveyard.
No, and maybe if you had family there, you could, but you have to pay.
Can you buy tickets on Ticketmaster?
Probably, but you had to pay to get in. But I was
Let me know when they go on sale.
I was like, we got to pay $5 to.
I got scalped.
Yeah, and then you got to walk through the place. It ain't like they give you a map that shows you.
So you have to go actually find.
Yeah, and it's just like the tombs and different gravestones and stuff. Like you could tell who really had the money, and then you go around, and his is like tucked up in a little corner, and they were so many people standing there just looking at it and stuff.
Ain't Cliff Burton buried over there?
He died in Sweden.
Sweet. Ain't he buried over there?
I don't think so. I think
or they brought him back to the United States?
Yeah.
Brought back to the United States.
Huh.
But, I just thought with everything that Paris has to offer, I thought that was pretty astonishing that his grave site
That's
is
actually
the
pretty
third
cool.
Yeah,
most.
that is pretty cool.
There's no telling that because
what,
7 days a week you pay
what's,
tickets.
What's number 1 and 2?
I don't know. Probably be the Lou.
Elvis.
Queen Diana.
Or Lou.
I bet Elvis is one of them.
Yeah.
I bet that Queen Elizabeth
Well, no,
Diana,
Elvis
or whatever
is
the
in-
hell her name is.
Elvis is in-
Queen Diana.
She's not in Paris, though, in France or whatever.
no,
Oh, I thought you
Elvis.
meant. I thought you meant most visited.
No,
like,
most visited
most
in
visited
Paris.
graves or whatever.
And then you got the Eiffel Tower or whatever. We
So
were,
that's probably number 1.
yeah, probably, but.
And then the Louvre, and then maybe Jim Morrison.
Yeah, but for him to be in the top now,
Yeah.
this was 10 years ago, and I'd imagine it probably stays pretty consistent with his gravesite. But it, you look at it and you're like, man, but it's got the fence and stuff because they don't want people to ride on it or hug it or what. But with us being over there, we wanted to go see that because it was the only opportunity we was going to have. But it's just, like people vandalizing his grave or whatever. And I don't know why his family didn't have him transported back to the U.S. or if they could.
Well, wasn't he married to a girl from over there or something?
They never got married.
He was there with the woman,
Right.
though, right?
Yeah, and she got everything that he had, and now her family owns the rights to his music because she OD'd on her 27th birthday. When she was 27, not on her birthday. Excuse me.
27. Isn't that the number, or is that 23?
No, it's 27.
It's
now.
27, yeah.
27 is that magic
That's
number.
the magic.
That's the number.
Jimi Hendrix and
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse and
Janis Joplin and Kurt
all of them.
Cobain.
Yeah, 3 of Scott's girlfriends, and
Well, all of those are interesting. I mean, that some of these stories blew my mind tonight. So, real quick.
The problem is we could keep going because
I know.
on both
I'm
sides.
telling you. Can anybody tell me what the Ronnie Van Zant, what kind of guitar did he play?
Ronnie Van Zant didn't play guitar.
I was hoping I'd get one of you assholes. You ruined it.
he played barefooted most of the time.
Well, you should send me a text and say, "Shut up on this next question."
Damn it.
Does
played
anybody
barefoot,
know how many albums Lynyrd Skynyrd has sold?
I honestly don't know.
Okay,
Now,
The price is on trade.
here's my only problem with Lynyrd Skynyrd. They keep putting albums out that are best ofs. They keep putting albums out that contain the same songs in different orders. So it kind of sucks to say how many albums have they sold.
well,
You should say how many albums have they sold up until 1977.
well,
Street Survivors. Up until Street Survivors, how many have they sold?
Here is what I found out is, and this was through Billboard or something I looked at. Through 2023, they have sold 29 million albums, and that shocked me because I thought it was going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
29
surprising.
million. That's a lot. That's
I
more.
mean, that's still a lot, but
That's more than I got.
It's still not what I mean. When you look at bands, like Metallica, their Black Album has sold 30 million copies. That album alone,
Just one album.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, I think, has sold 31 million.
Listen,
Just that album.
the
you know.
internet the internet came out and changed everything too. So Metallica, they're more in the internet crowd, maybe.
Yeah, well, and
you think that
I'm
had
not
something?
sure. I get that. I get that, but still,
You fucking kidding me, huh?
it shocked me. I actually went when I saw that
I'll
figure.
shut that shit down, huh?
When I saw that figure that it was Lynyrd Skynyrd had sold 29 million albums total, you know, I went to 2 or 3 different other sites just to check and see if they had the same thing, because I mean I was actually thinking it was going to be like 70, 80 million.
That's not a lot, because they actually put out like 20 million albums.
Well,
That's true.
well, before the plane crash, they put out what five albums, I think.
3, because they had the pronounced.
You had the pronounced album.
Second
then you
Helping.
had Second Helping. Then you had
Nothing Fancy,
Nothing Fancy.
and then Street Survivors. No, Street Survivor. No, there was another one before Street Survivors.
Street Survivor was the 5th album, I think. It was
Yeah.
another one before that, I think. So they put out 5 albums before they had the plane crash.
Yeah.
But
So I want to know how many they sold, even today, like up until today, how many they had sold of those 5 albums. Not all the new ones that they keep coming out
they
with.
keep going and have
the best of
doing
that.
all, you know,
that
the
bugs
same
me, because
songs.
they keep making up a new one. It's like,
Yeah, but still, I mean, this is like
no, they
their-
have, but they'll throw in a new song that Johnny sings on.
Yeah,
So-
but I mean, I'm saying this is still like all their albums up until 2023 that they have sold.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I thought it would have been a lot more than that.
Chris, how many do you own? How many Lynyrd Skynyrd albums do you own?
0.
See,
0.
How many albums do you own, Trey?
me, all of them probably.
All of them.
Like, well, except for the 800 best
Remasters.
ofs. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Carol? How many? You know,
I don't own any.
I also,
Not yet. You
I
got
also
that old
own them
record
on.
player?
By the way, I also own them on vinyl, not
well,
Yeah,
CD.
see, I don't own any of them on CD or vinyl, but I got them on my,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
my
I also have
Digital.
iPod.
I also have
Digital.
Rossington Collins band album. Got that going for me.
Yeah, and they come
and
out-
Blackfoot with Ricky Medlock, who played drums on a couple of songs back in the day.
Yeah.
So real quick, runner up the Lynyrd
Do it,
Skynyrd.
because we're running out of time.
Because Lil Wayne educated me a little bit tonight with the Van Zant, Donnie Van Zant being in 38 Special. I had no clue about. So I'm gonna go with 38 Special because I really do like 38 Special, and they're an awesome fucking band. So that's my runner up. What's your runner up?
I thought we were just talking about
No,
what
no,
they,
we're going around here.
I don't know if I have a runner up
Come on.
because
Time's ticking.
I was a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan forever.
Yeah.
If I had a runner,
favorite,
well, hold on. If I had
Southern rock.
if I had a second favorite Southern rock, well, the Allman Brothers are going to be right there.
God,
That's
I
what
didn't
I,
even
that's
think
what I
about
was
them.
thinking.
The Allman
Son
Brothers
of
are
a
going to be
bitch.
there. Government Mule, well, they were later.
Let's next. He's gonna go through the whole fucking chain. Allman Brothers.
That's right, Allman Brothers.
All right, Allman
That-
Brothers.
I'll go Allman Brothers, but I was thinking there's
That would have been
some-
mine, either the Allman Brothers or 38 Special.
but
I like 38 Special too.
but Blackfoot too. God, Blackfoot.
God, here we go.
38
I like
Special.
them too. I like them. Now
But-
I'm Blackfoot again.
38 Special, but even Boston, I kind of considered Southern rock, even though they weren't. But go ahead. All right, I'm done.
Oh my God, Boston! See, I forgot all about all these bands.
I'm done.
I was so focused on
you
Lynyrd
would consider
Skynyrd.
Boston?
They feel like
Southern
they
rock?
feel like Southern rock to me. Yes, I
They're
absolutely.
from Boston,
Must be a
Massachusetts.
long time.
but it felt like Southern rock to me.
They were.
It felt
They
like-
were.
But I could also say Charlie
they
Daniels
were
band.
Northern fake Southern rock, I guess. you'd
Charlie
call it.
Daniels band, Marshall Tucker, like
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
yeah. I could keep going. I don't have a second.
Chasing that dream.
All right,
My voice is messed up. I can't do it.
I can't, did anybody just,
that's all right. I fixed it.
I think-
check that, Chris. How's that?
I think Adam from Sugar Bob would be upset that if nobody's talking about.
Hey, he's back. He's.
Are you going to say Blackberry Smoke?
Yeah, Blackberry Smoke.
I'm thinking about Southern rock back then, because I would.
Yeah.
Because I'd put
I would
Southern.
kinda
Because
think of
Well,
it.
that's what I
Blackberry
was saying.
Smoke is that's my guys.
Yeah.
Like they would be
But
number
I mean,
one right now.
I consider Blackberry Smoke Southern rock.
Yes. Yeah, and that's my number
But
one
back
band
in
right now.
73,
I know it's
what
not in
we're
the
talking
70s
about.
or whatever,
No,
but
not
well, no,
then.
we're talking about Southern rock
Southern
bands.
rock band.
What's yours, Carol? Next.
I would have to go with Molly Hatchett's cousin, Marshall Tucker band.
Marshall. Oh,
Hatchet.
shit.
Molly Hatchet. I'm driving down the road.
I'm flirting with disaster. That was a great topic, man. We could have went all night with that one.
We could have.
Holy crap!
Let's skip the second part. This is it. We're already an hour in. Let's just skip it.
Finish it. We're gonna take a quick break. Hold on, I have my damn throat closed up on me. We're gonna take a quick break.
That's the first time that's happened.
We're gonna take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Shoot the breeze!
This week's sponsors for the show are Shane's Tire and Towing. #1 in the tire business. With state-of-the-art equipment and alignment machine. Shane's Tire and Towing for all of your new and used tire needs. Worth the call, every time. Call Shane at 843-309-5920. Maryland Fried Chicken of Hartsville. The best shrimp and hush puppies in town. Great restaurant with great service. Fresh marinated chicken with an unbelievable menu. Do yourself a favor and stop by for some goodness. For grading and paving. For all your residential and commercial needs. For grading and clearing, topsoil, sand, clay, gravel and asphalt. Give Jeffrey Furr a call today at 843-537-2881. You will be glad you did. J. Michael's Bar and Grill. The perfect place to try some new stuff or enjoy the classics. It's a great choice, so make it your first choice. Listen to some live music on the porch while you enjoy a cold one. Come get it while it lasts. Spiro's Wings and Ale. Great food, live music, and a great atmosphere. Food and drink specials with the best service around. Always the place to be with friends, family, or just bring yourself. You deserve it. Thanks to all our sponsors. And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back for the guillotine section of this episode.
The guillotine.
Oh, shit. Did you hear that?
You can't argue with that. Did you hear the pronunciation of that, Chris? Guillotine.
That is scary as shit.
I know, but that is also right.
Guillotine.
All right, our guillotine section. Best Scream movie.
Guillotines.
Your best Scream movie, and how did it affect the horror community? As well as fan base. They always mess with me every time. It was horror. Who says it different?
Everybody.
Horror. It's the horrors.
It's the damn horror. One of my favorite movies of all times. I remember when it came out. And we got to do some shots before we start this segment.
Let's just start talking. We'll do shots without you. Go ahead and tell us the story. Go ahead and tell us your story.
We got some lickery nipples.
Some lickery nipples.
Thank you, Trey. Trey's always taking care of us, man.
Scott,
I know.
Scott, you know.
I know how to do it.
Hey,
Never had to do it.
Let's see. Let's see.
Our
Let's
loyal
see.
listeners.
He's going to spill it.
I don't need a tutorial. I got it.
Don't stick your tongue in it this time.
Everybody's wondering, is Scott going to do the butter or the nipple side first?
I'm doing both of them at the same time.
Trey, what you betting on?
He likes his nipples on his butter.
Oh, my God.
Damn, Carol.
I just took a sip.
No, okay. Carol's ready to go.
You just ruined the episode.
I ain't ruined anything.
You just put a black Sabbath mark on this episode.
A black Sabbath mark. Ozzy would be proud.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do what?
Come on. What are we doing? Let's go.
Let's just drag this out as long as possible.
Yeah.
All right, here's the guillotines, boys. Cheers.
Guillotines.
Cheers.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Yes, sir, John, it did.
Woo.
All right, my favorite movie, Scream, baby. Hello, Sydney. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Chris.
Do you got any money?
Do you got any money? That sounds like what he said.
Do you got any money?
Hey, Scott will go damn evil on that. What'd you say about my wallet?
Me money, boys.
Yeah.
It'll be a different horror movie because I'll become the killer then. I'll be like, what'd you say?
You could say anything about my family. You talking about my credit score. Man, you got problems. Man, when this movie came, I remember the previews like it was yesterday, sitting there watching TV.
1996.
Yeah, it started off with the phone ringing.
Scream came out.
And you seen the girl answer, and then you seen the ghost face and all the carnage, and the trailer was crazy. I said, I'm sucked in this movie right here. I got to go see it. And I seen it in the theaters, and it was, it was one of them suspenseful movies where the music, I was down. It was scary. And then all of a sudden,
who wrote the movie? Who was it by?
Wes Craven. I'm not Wes Craven. Steven Spielberg. No,
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven.
Just keep saying a bunch.
You
You'll
was
finally get
almost
it.
right.
Wes Craven.
Right.
Wes Craven, who was Nightmare on Elm Street
Yes, it is.
fame.
And then after, this is how it ends. I'm sorry. I got excited.
You good.
That wasn't my fault.
So after the movie, you're like, I want to put on a costume and go around,
And kill
gutting
people.
fish. You know what I'm saying? It made you feel like that.
Wow.
That
Not
movie
me.
came out in the perfect generation because art, reality imitated art. Is that
Life imitates art.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hell,
Something like that. Yeah.
It's whatever you said. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
seriously
what it
though,
does.
like that movie impacted me. I'm like, do I got some serial killer in me? I feel like putting on my mama's gown and going next door right now.
I just got my soundbite for next show.
But seriously though, this movie was epic.
I thought the movie was
And
great.
what you told us, was it the first horror movie with two
I
killers
think,
in it?
to my knowledge, it's the first horror movie that introduced had two killers. Most of them had one killer. But this one it was when you realized one of them was a killer, and it was like, then they sprung it on you. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
So it was two people. Yeah. So to my knowledge, it is now. There might be some obscure horror movie out there from the 70s or 60s or even 80s that might have had some kind of concept like this, but to my knowledge, it was the first.
I know what you did last summer after Scream.
Yes,
That's when
I know what you did last summer. I think come out in 1997.
I felt
Scream come out in
they tried to
96, the
boot
first
tail
one.
off of that.
They did, which I liked. I know what you did last summer. I like those movies too.
Those were good.
I thought they were pretty good.
But I thought it was a rip. I was like, man, y'all trying to be like Scream.
So in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, did anybody other than Leatherface ever do any killing?
That's a good question.
Of course.
not that you. Not
The
that you-
grandfather
Not that you
bailed
see on
him over the
screen, I
head
don't
with the
think.
hammer. That's how he. You don't remember that?
Well, yeah,
And Dennis Hopper's
but
try to lop him over the head.
yeah, but Leatherface was the only one who did the killings, I think. And
Even that shit out. Sloppy.
Do that again. I didn't hear you good. Let me fix that.
And I wasn't sure about Texas Chainsaw Massacre if anyone else done any killing.
I don't think nobody else did any killing. There was other family members who were involved in
eating the porridge.
well that, but like I'm thinking about they had the grandfather try and hit the girl over the head. He never killed anybody, or that you saw on screen. And the same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. You had what's his name who had the plate in his head.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But he in the radio station, he was hitting LG, the guy in the head with the hammer. You're talking about incoming, and he kept hitting him. But he didn't kill him because LG was alive near the end of the movie after they had skinned him. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't die. So I guess you could say if that situation was real, then yeah, maybe those other people did kill people, but in the actual movie, you don't see them.
You don't see them kill.
Yeah. So
You might be right.
well, and I'm not saying I am right. I mean, because
Well, I got one for you. Nope. Remember the movie Killer Clowns? Bam.
well, that's a different thing. Yeah, because all the clowns were killing people. So yeah, you had that type of movie.
You remember that
I'm
movie,
talking
Trey?
about like the serial killer type of movies, like
Yeah.
what like with Jason or Freddy or something. It's usually just one person.
Right. Now,
And Scream is like that. You think it's just one person doing it, but
and Scream's considered a slasher. Is that?
Yep. Yep.
I wonder. So, was Friday the 13th considered a slasher movie too?
yeah,
Can
it
you
was.
give me the definition of a slasher?
I think to me a slasher movie is
Were they
showing a lot of
knives? And
or
cutting
gore and
yeah.
Okay.
it's a lot like it's a gore. It shows a lot of gore and blood and stuff. Like when it actually shows a killing scene, it's one of those scenes where like most people want to look away. Like
Right.
I don't want to see this. To me, that's what a slasher film is.
I wonder
And-
what the first movie was that was considered a slasher movie, and who come up with the term slasher. And I didn't
don't know.
research it or anything, but
I would think the first slasher movie would be Halloween. And it come out when? 73? 70? Or 76?
I can't,
Can we get a look
I
up
can't
on that?
remember exactly.
What the fuck? What the hell is this?
What's the problem?
What kind of vitamins you took from here to now?
I'm just
God
listening.
damn, he all of a sudden grew hair.
I've been listening to a lot of Don Henley lately.
Trey Heisenberg. Oh my God.
I was expecting you to break out.
You look like my mama.
But slasher
That's what
movies
I was
take.
expecting you to break out.
Oh, God.
I can see you.
Hey, that's the first time we ever got Scott to sing.
Hey, guy, I
You
just
done
got
Nobody
good.
on the road.
I got it recorded now. I got it. I'm saving that one.
Yeah,
Nobody on
have
the
that on a
beach.
file. I can see you. But I think slasher
We
takes
love
horror
Trey.
to the next level
Yeah.
because it's gory and it's kind of almost like you chase
know,
Rambo up into the
I'm
mountain.
reading-
You
I'm
don't chase
reading
Rambo
here-
up into the mountain.
And it was not expected to perform well, and due to concerns over releasing a slasher film in a time normally reserved for holiday entertainment, they like towards Christmas, they did it after Halloween.
So it was. What was the release date on Scream?
December 20th.
Oh, was it in December?
Yep.
I remember going to see it. I don't remember being in December.
I don't remember the date, but I remember it was
The
told.
Screams were good.
It was
a
in
lot
Hartsville.
of people probably don't like the Scream movies, but I thought they were fantastic.
But it went to earn
I love the Scream.
It earned
movie.
173 million worldwide through the strength of
Yeah,
word to mouth. That means
it did.
People
It did
talking about
fantastic
yeah,
at the box office.
yeah.
And when we decided this was going to be the topic, I actually went back Sunday night and
started watching.
which was last night, and I watched Scream 1. I watched that. I was going to watch Scream 2, but when I got
Well,
through
you
with
remember-
Scream 1, it was
You remember
like
the Scream
2 o'clock
1?
in the morning.
It
I
gave
was
you
like-
hints.
Yeah, I got to get up in the
It
morning. so
gave
I
you like
needed
little
something.
hints on like who the killer would be, and
It did,
It would give you
but-
false hints, and like especially, I thought it was the damn sheriff. Remember, he threw the cigarette down, and you saw the boot smashed. I was like, he's the fucking killer. I was like, he's the damn sheriff's the killer.
And then also there was hints with the principal who was played by
Yeah. Hey, Fonzie.
Yeah, the Fonzie. What's his name?
Henry Winkler.
Henry
Winkler.
Yeah.
And even remember that they had in the movie a throwback to because they had a throwback to Freddy Krueger. Remember where the principal walks out? He hears a noise. He puts the mask on.
Yeah.
And he hears something. He takes the mask off.
Yeah.
Walks out in the hall, and the janitor is sweeping.
Yeah, with
and
the
he looks.
earphones on.
And the janitor has the red and green sweater
Yeah.
on, like Freddy.
Yeah.
You know, and he looks up and he's like, "Is something wrong?" You know, principal, whatever his name was. You know, and he's like, "No, Fred, nothing's wrong." You know,
No,
like,
Fred.
Fred, you know, call me Fred. So they had that.
I didn't even notice that.
They had a throwback to Nightmare on Elm Street in the movie. You know,
Oh, Wes Craven putting his old
yeah, well, that's what it was.
Boots in there.
It's that part's it's a trip in the movie, you know, because it's well, I say it's subtle, but it's not so subtle if you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
Yeah, because you know exactly.
Immediately when you see it, you know, it's the janitor sweeping, but he's got the red and green sweater on and the hat, you know.
Yeah.
And he looks up and says something to the principal. No, Fred, you okay? You know, it's
And no one ever realized that the Scream started, you know, Freddy Krueger's killings, you know.
But that was what was so crazy about this movie. You had no idea. You was when you found out there was two killers, you was like, get the fuck out of here. I knew he was crazy, but this stupid fucking goofy motherfucker over here, I didn't notice he was a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like Stu, I didn't see it coming.
When you're
in the movie store,
the movie, you're
when he
trying
was in the movie
you're trying
store
to figure out who the killer is.
You knew,
and the movie kept throwing you back like it was. There was like 8 different people who could be the killer.
Yes,
because they show certain things like you're talking about the cop when he steps on a cigarette. You see the boot.
Yeah,
and you're
I thought for sure. I was
that's
like,
the same boot.
I was like,
that's him.
I said, that's him right there. That is him. He was trying to get sitting in the bathroom. Remember the boot coming down first?
Yeah.
And then the dress, the
But yeah, there's so many scenes like that that throws you off. It's like, this is the killer.
You don't know if it was me.
This is the killer.
I might be sitting right in front of you.
It does stuff like that.
I'm going to gut your fat ass when I'm done.
When you're at the end of the movie, it's like, okay, it's not one killer, there's 2.
Yeah.
You know.
And the whole damn movie was awesome, including the soundtrack. They had, God almighty. They had,
Come on.
God.
You got this. I believe in you. I have faith in you. Come on.
Alice Cooper. They had Alice Cooper. They had, Nipamgaki.
I'm going to do some Jeopardy music.
I think you need to.
Anyway, best soundtrack ever. Not to mention Scream 2 had the excellent soundtrack
Best soundtrack ever, even though he can't name
Here
a
we
song
go.
off of it.
Here we go. That sounds like a topic for another night.
This could be our lucky day.
No, the soundtrack did have a lot of good songs on it. It had what was that? Was that song by I'm like you, Chris. I'm at a loss for words. You know.
I'm telling you, but and how it impacted the horror community. They think I'm saying horror community. That's what they're laughing about. It's horror.
I can't help it. Every time you do it,
I'm not saying horror community. It's horror community.
Every time you say it, I just want to go. Welcome to the stage.
But you see nothing like the film, but because throughout the film, the killer was imitating art, saying, let's play or ask you some questions, or you live or die.
They kept referencing
exactly.
all these old horror movies.
And then he was like, who's the the killer in the original Jason, she was like, Jason, I've seen that movie 30 times. And he was like, you're wrong. I forgot what the answer was, but you look it up, it's true what he said,
Jason's mother was a killer in the first Friday the 13th. Jason wasn't even in the
Poor
first
Carol's got to have his guts spilled out now.
Damn you, bitch.
You stupid bitch.
So I actually done a little Google research.
Google.
Google. So in 1964, a movie called Blood and Black Lace had multiple killers. Had more than one killer, which is not a movie I've ever watched.
I've never heard of it.
But I actually see where like different clips is popping up or whatever. And I'd never heard of it neither. But so it's maybe in 1964 it was popular. That was a little before my time, but I'm interested
way
enough
before
that
our time,
I just want to take a glance at it and see, what it's about. But
so there was.
But I think Scream set the bar for.
Was it 2 killers in that movie?
It said multiple killers, but I think it was 2 killers. Release
because
date.
I mean, you could actually have a movie with multiple killers, like a zombie movie,
right?
Where you have multiple killers. I'm talking about like a movie where we're dealing with.
And actually, the languages for the movie was English and Italian, but I think it come out first in Italian, so maybe it's an Italian movie. But it said it had multiple killers. It was a horror thriller. But I think Scream was actually the first.
I don't know what language that was. That sounds like Def Leppard.
That was mutt language.
Sound like Def Leppard.
Where was you at when you first saw Scream? Was it at home on a VHS or where were you at?
I think I went to the movies.
You went to the movies?
I know part 3, I think. Me, Scott, and Ryan went and watched part 3.
Where were you at the first Scream? The VHS or movies?
Movies. I went and saw it when it first come out.
I ain't going to ask you. You don't watch damn movies.
Never saw him. I was living life.
He was on a Lynyrd Skynyrd crash.
Really? Like that's the best you can come
He had his ribs out. He was castrated.
They're still out.
But I think the Scream.
I seen it in the theater also, and I'm telling you.
Did you and Rocky go watch?
No. Me and another buddy went and watched it. But we'd already talked about this, but we all saw Scream. We all went to my house one night, and Scream was still in the theaters. It was still big. Ghostface, was sold in every store. And so you remember the recall button on your portable phone in the house?
Yeah.
You defined it, and it'll ring. So we was scaring the shit out of Rocky, and he was like, "I want to go home." We was young, I want to go home. And he went to pick up the phone, and the master call button didn't ring. He's like, ah! he dropped the phone. He's like, why is he gone? I'm like, man, it's the damn ghost face. He's going to get you. And he went into the other and turned all the lights on. I went to the breaker box, turned the lights on. He's like, ah! He fucking screamed again. Man, he had tears in his eyes. We had to call his mom to come get him. He didn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
No, but I like the movie because it was, you had coming up through the late 80s and early 90s, you had
monsters and stuff.
It was a monster. It was like Jason.
You didn't have
it was
a
Jason
person,
who was,
right.
Who had been killed time and time again.
Yeah,
he still comes
speared,
back. You had
broken
Freddy,
on the rack,
who was a
burn.
Yeah, and you
ears,
had Michael
drums drilled
Myers,
out, nose pierced.
You had all these the horror figures who were like been killed before, still coming back. It was like a monster movies, almost. And when Scream come out, it was. Because it was like
it was fresh.
It was
it was hip.
It was
with the teens.
It was something new, and it was also people. Somebody could actually do this.
Yeah, that's what
it wasn't like it wasn't like
That's
somebody
what
who
this
had been
article
risen from the
says.
dead, which
Right.
is what,
That's what this article said. It changed the horror.
which is like what most
horror world.
But no, yeah, it did that because it was dealing with actual people doing it. So it was it gave it that sense that this is something that could really happen. It's not make believe. Because it was like you're telling a story now where actual people are doing the killing, not some monster who's been killed 2 or 3 times coming back.
But the opening of that movie where her boyfriend gets gutted after she gets the questions wrong, and she's feet from her parents just gets gutted, stabbed up, and
then hung from the tree.
then hung from the damn tree.
Yeah,
and then the intro comes in, scream, and this could be your lucky day.
And actually,
in hell.
when I first saw that movie, and when I saw the previews, when I knew at the time Drew Barrymore was a pretty big actress,
Until she got killed.
Yeah, and I was like, so she's in the movie, and I was thinking the whole time she's going to be like one of the main actresses that's going to survive through the whole movie.
When I
went and watched it, and then saw she was in the opening scene, and you're sitting there watching it, and you're like, okay, it draws your attention in with the whole phone call and everything, and then when she gets stabbed and hung up in the tree, you're like,
damn,
dude, what?
Yeah,
she fucking dies. I was like, she's like at that time was like one of the biggest actresses.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's got to be in this movie next.
Schwarzenegger.
Hello, hey little man with the mask. Hello, I'll show that nice in your ass. Oh my god!
But I mean, I'm saying,
I know what
to
you're
me,
saying.
that to have somebody in the movie who at the time was she was a famous
Casey
actress.
Becker, that was her name,
and for her in the opening scene to die and be out of the movie, it's like, I mean, my God, when they advertised the movie, her name was one of the first ones that they put on there, Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, she's in the opening scene, and that's it, and then she's gone.
I was trying to look, but couldn't really find anything. Wonder how many ghost face masks were
So I'll tell you what, man.
were sold worldwide.
But that was
Oh, God.
That was
There's no telling.
Well, I was going to say
be a
that
lot.
was Matthew Lillard's big break, and that's when he got big. That was Stu. If you didn't know that.
No, I know who Matthew Lillard is.
I'm feeling a little woozy. What the fuck?
Yeah. I think you went too deep when you cut me.
I thought it was Sugar Bob.
But apparently they've got
What the hell's Adam doing here?
I didn't watch any of the Scream movies, so this is all I had.
He looks like fucking Greg Allman.
Let me show you my tattoo.
Yeah. Singing some songs.
I thought it was Haggard off of Harry Potter.
Haggard. You said Haggard.
Oh, you talking about the little
You're a wizard, Harry.
The old wizard Harry. Look at this shit.
We have a good time here.
He washed his hair one time and the shit grew back.
Actually, no. I just cut it one too many times.
Oh my god.
Carry on. Don't let me distract you.
But
Look at, he keeps throwing it back. He's like,
I missed this shit. All right.
It's got lice in it.
I got a ponytail holder. I need to put it up in the.
Damn. Those
are the days, man. Go ahead. Say something.
All right.
your hair doesn't match your beard, though.
I dye my hair. I don't dye my beard. I dye my hair. My hair is dyed. This is not my natural color, by the way.
I'm about to look that up. How many ghost masks was? I can't concentrate. I can't do it.
Ghost face mask. Yeah.
And I think there were like 13 different masks made as far as the way they actually look.
Oh my God!
But I mean, then you had to look at, because the ghost face masks were popular because of the movie. But then you had the Wayans brothers scary movie that come out with the ghost face mask with the different things.
With the tongue
out when
and
so
high.
they sold all those masks too. So
Oh man,
which I know that was I'm sure it was licensed differently.
Scary movies. They were great.
There's no telling how many masks were sold.
It really don't have it on here.
It's got it somewhere. You just got to find the right spot.
He cut his hair. Oh my God! Let's
Because
see.
like when Scream come out, it was popular, and when Scary Movie come out, it was especially the one that had Charlie Sheen in it and Michael
That was
Jackson.
the third scary movie, I think.
Yeah, man, that shit was.
I like the scary movies. I like the second one. I like the one that had
Or they went to the castle, or
Yeah.
to the mansion. Or
that
whatever
had it had David Cross, who played the
good hand.
the paralyzed. No, he played.
Oh yeah, he was in the wheelchair.
in the wheelchair. He was the paralyzed guy. But then it also had, the guy who had the fucked up hand.
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest movies I think I've ever watched.
Yeah, I mean that some bitch was funny. I've watched that some bitch 4 or 5 times.
Oh, I have too.
I mean, and you can watch it now. I mean, it's always funny.
Yeah, you
But,
can watch it. And it's you can watch it, laugh your ass off at it. A week later, you can decide to watch it again.
Yeah.
And you will laugh at every part again.
You get it? I'm gonna walk away now. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it's hilarious. But anyway,
Last call.
Last call.
last
Don't
call.
you hate when the damn lights come on and you realize who you with at the end of the night? Like I'm looking at Scott, I'm like, shh, didn't drink enough.
But
Give
you're
me
not
2
going
for the
home with
last
me
call.
anyway, so I mean, you don't have to worry about it.
Chuck won't let him in the gate, will
Yeah, Mr. Cliss.
he? Scott said he'll no come in tonight.
He said, "Come on in, worker."
Come on. You got some tools? Come on.
But man,
You got to have that white noise for them tools. You can't wake up the neighbors.
Scream changed a lot of shit.
I think it did too. I think the horror movie scene. I think it did. It changed it because it brought it back to like we were talking earlier. Like it, you went from Halloween with Michael Myers
To a man that don't speak,
and then
true
Jason
people.
from Friday the 13th and Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, where you had actual, monsters or, whatever you want to call them. To Scream was actual people who were doing the killing. They were vulnerable like you are. You could actually hit them and hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's that. What I don't know who asked me in the text message. I was like, how did it impact horror?
Well, it impacted horror in a lot of different
I
ways.
think it was Trey that questioned my knowledge.
That's daily.
Hourly almost even.
Daily, I question your knowledge.
I'm telling
no. When Trey, Trey, I remember Trey.
I did
Trey
look this
saying
up,
that.
though.
Did it really change the horror genre? And I don't know if it really changed the horror genre. I think it took it in a different way. I don't know if it actually changed the dynamic of horror movies, because you still have horror movies that have ghosts, ghouls, and monsters and all.
Do you know portable phones in the home went up 75% when that movie came out? And I just read
I
that.
did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's
Went
pretty.
up 75% when that movie came out.
Was it at the first of the month or?
God, I just read the fucking fruits and berries, motherfucker.
You
I'll
didn't
give you.
catch-
I'll send you
didn't
the
catch what I
total
meant by
story.
first of the month. But
I already. Did you put too much Pepsi in mine?
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
All right, I like your attitude.
Don't worry, you'll enjoy that.
I love it.
Don't worry, you will like that one a lot.
Well, let's take a toast to the end of the show right fast. We're
Let me just go ahead and say what this shot is. This is different. The first one we did, yours. Oh, yeah, I thought you were taking it already. The first one we did was yours.
So now it's ham sandwich.
This
did
is one of my
screwball
favorites.
to start with.
We're going from peanut
that's got
butter.
some booze in it right there.
We're going from peanut butter to Old Smoky,
Old
Tennessee,
Smoky.
salty caramel.
Don't worry. I thought it was a ham sandwich, bologna sandwich.
One of my favorites
bam.
lately.
Hey, cheers, boys.
good show.
Good show. Good show.
You ready?
Thanks for rolling good.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Oh, yes, it did.
Yes,
John.
it did, John.
Oh, my heart.
Has he
Here we
heard
go
that
again.
yet?
I haven't heard anything from him, so
I don't know, but yeah, that one
What the hell's in here?
Booze.
that one kind of hits.
Red Stag, Coke Zero.
Oh, I'm still tasting Old Smoky.
You were about to question my bartending.
I was. My bad. I will never do it again.
I know you won't.
You know, I was thinking for next
I'll mute
week's,
your microphone over here.
for next week's show, we could do a call in for somebody famous.
We'll try something.
I mean, for someone
I'm already here,
famous.
though. I mean,
Well,
you
someone
want to call
else,
in, too?
Someone else famous.
Who
we
was that?
Michael Myers. I mean, he won't have much to say, but we can still call him.
Well, we can.
Well,
It'd be good for ratings.
He's been
we could probably have Michael Myers in the studio.
He's been here all day, right there in the doorway, walking slowly toward us.
Waiting for one of you to trip. Sitting down.
We tripping.
All right.
We tripping.
This is a hell of a show, and we're out of time, unfortunately. These topics, we could have went all night, man. Especially, well, y'all could have went all night with the first one, but the second one, I could have really went all night with it. So,
Well, you can keep talking. We'll just stop the show, but we'll stop recording. But you can keep talking. Please keep talking.
oh man, cut 23.
All right, that's all the time we got. Go ahead.
God damn it. He's taking over everything.
I have full control.
But this is a hell of a show, boys. Cut 23 in the. Am I muted?
No, you're not.
Am I muted? It sounds like I'm muted.
Cut 23.
Oh, God, you're here, shit. God damn it. Jack.
Cut. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Take that away from him.
No. Go.
All right. This is Guillotines and Guitars, cut 23, and we are out. Out.
Hold on, I wasn't ready. Let's start over again. Did we do our
That
shot
was a
yet?
false one. We was practicing. We was. Hey, we got plenty of hats.
I just wanted to see Scott. You guys don't know what Scott gets on the. He gets that clapper point. He is ready to go.
Well, I did forget to mention we got some plenty of coins left.
Nope.
That's why I stopped.
We done.
Yep. Plenty.
Done.
Ow.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. We thank everybody for watching and listening tonight. This is Cut 23. Cut 23 in the books tonight, fellas. This is Guillotines and Guitars, and we are out.
Guillotines and guitars.
Guillotines.
Horror.
Hard.
Are we out? We out yet? Can I do it?